Hey, figured I'd update. Oh boy, am I sore. It is the 21st and it's my birthday of January. Happy birthday to me, I'm 20 now, but that's not the main reason I'm caring about recording. Let me just fix you right up here. So, I'm crazy sore because I came back like half an hour ago from the Women's March on Washington, Winnipeg, where basically a whole bunch of people gathered at Portage Place downtown and basically marched several blocks down to Portage and Main and back. And everyone was screaming, everyone was chanting, there were signs, there were people. There was one dude who was hanging the American flag upside down. For those of you who don't know, a flag hung upside down, especially the American flag, it's considered a sign of disrespect, but it's because it signals an extremely dire situation. Like, it means that there is something wrong. Like, something's falling apart, something's dangerous, something is wrong, which, considering what happened yesterday, and with Trump's current picks for education, who thinks public schools are dead end, 90% of kids, she wants to put child labor in place to learn valuable social and work skills. Basically taking away children's future. And the fact that he replaced the Secretary of Energy with Rick Perry, concerning. And that's just the two I can think of off the top of my head. Not to mention that the fact that they're appealing Obamacare is going to take away over 2 million people's health insurance because lots of people have pre-existing conditions or just can't afford it. That's gonna be like people diagnosed with cancer who can't afford treatment as a result of not being able to afford it. People are gonna die. It's a very concerning situation. So, of course, we live only a couple blocks away from Portage Place, so we went. Well, I mean, if it were further, we would have went anyway, but we're broke right now waiting for payday. So at least we didn't have to pay to get there. It was great. There were so many people. There were older people, younger people. Some people brought their children, which I know lots of people think you shouldn't bring children to things like protests and pride and demonstrations. I think otherwise, because if anyone needs to know the power of protest, it's going to be our children. I'm pretty sure people like Martin Luther King and pretty much anyone who has protested would say the same thing. Everyone needs to know their right to protest, because we may not be around and there may be injustices in the future, but our children need to know that there is power in numbers, that it is their right to fight for what they deserve, to fight to protect people, to protect themselves, to take care of themselves. They need to know the power of numbers, and that they are strong in a team and in a group, and that people will come together. If anyone needs to be at those protests, it's everyone. Children, so that they know their rights, so that in the future they can use them. Older people, because they've been fighting this fight for a while, and maybe they're just starting now. Young people, because we got a lot of fighting to do, so why not get started? That's why I'm here. First protest I've ever been to, and I am pleased. There was so much hype. The speakers, there was one Muslim woman who was born in like Sudan or something, immigrated to Canada for a bit, then finished up in Europe and then came back here. There was a trans woman who was like head of the Rainbow Resource Center here, like part of a board that one of the places that they run is the Rainbow Resource Center. It was put together by the Women's Health Clinic. It was, Haley, not now. Scoot. And like so many organizations together, like putting this on and getting it going. Like, we actually got hats and signs. Like, Ro and I went together, my fiance, love them so much. They got a sign on one side that said, "It isn't feminism if it isn't inclusive," and the other said, "Protect trans kids." That was originally going to be my sign, but it was lighter than the one that they had, which is reproductive. It was a womb is my own, and or our own or something, and the other side was like, "Hey Ro, what were the sides of my sign? The womb is our own and what?
A womb of one's own and reproductive rights for all.
Reproductive rights for all, and a womb is one's own.
A womb
Of one's own. Thank you. Thank you. I love you."
Love you too. Nerd.
True. But yeah, there's so many people. I was expecting like a cluster of maybe 20 to 50 people walking down the sidewalks, but no, there was enough people to cover Portage all the way there and part of the way back. Like, there were so many people. There were dudes on the sides throwing up peace signs. There were people just like, yeah, there was a woman dressed as Princess Leia holding a sign with Carrie Fisher on it, which, if you think she wouldn't be all over this, she would. She absolutely would be speaking up, and it's such a cool thing. Like, multiple people took our pictures. Like, we're going to be in the Guardian, me and Ro with our signs and stuff. Like, just it's so cool, and I'm really glad I got to be a part of it. Like, this is the kind of thing where it's like, it's going to be noted briefly in history, and maybe there will be a picture or two or something, and it's going to be like, this thing happened, and people protested, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Of course, the fight isn't over, but it's a good start. I'm gonna have to let you go. The cat's about to knock over my camera/phone. But yeah, figured I'd give that update, and going for Olive Garden dinner later, and hoping that my Facebook posts about the Women's March doesn't irritate family. Really hoping. Well, if all else fails, I stand by what I do and say. So, stand strong out there, and take care. Bye.